This video is not affiliated with, endorsed by, or sponsored by the National Institute for Automotive Service Excellence, ASE. It is created solely for educational purposes to help viewers expand their automotive knowledge and prepare for ASE-style topics. For official information, study materials, and certification details, please refer directly to ASE.
Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. Today we've got something really helpful lined up for you. 50 practice multiple-choice questions to test your knowledge and help you study smarter. Whether you're brushing up for an exam, preparing for a certification, or just wanting to strengthen your automotive skills, this video is designed to guide you step by step. Grab a notebook, follow along, and see how many you can get right. Let's dive in and start learning together.
1. A heavy-duty pull-type clutch requires frequent adjustment to maintain release. Which condition is most likely the cause? A. Glazed flywheel. B. Worn release bearing. C. Worn clutch brake. D. Excessive clutch linkage wear. Answer: D. Excessive clutch linkage wear. Explanation: worn or elongated clevis pins or holes and stretched linkage reduce effective release travel, requiring frequent adjustments. 2. A driver reports hard shifting into first from a stop. The truck creeps with the pedal fully depressed. What should be checked first? A. Transmission main shaft end play. B. Clutch brake operation and gap. C. Differential side gear thrust washers. D. Power divider lockout air pressure. Answer: B. Clutch brake operation and gap. Explanation: if the clutch brake isn't stopping the input shaft or the gap is wrong, the truck will creep and first gear will be hard to engage. 3. Which measurement ensures proper free travel before the release bearing contacts the clutch fingers? A. Release bearing to input shaft end play. B. Pedal free play. C. Flywheel runout. D. Clutch brake thickness. Answer: B. Pedal free play. Explanation: pedal free play confirms the release bearing is not riding the fingers and provides room for thermal growth. 4. A two-piece drive shaft was reinstalled with the slip yoke out of phase by 30 degrees. What symptom is most likely? A. Whine on coast only. B. Thump on braking. C. Cyclic vibration under load and cruise. D. Growl only in low gear. Answer: C. Cyclic vibration under load and cruise. Explanation: incorrect yoke phasing causes non-uniform angular velocity and creates second-order vibrations. 5. A mechanic measures 5 degrees at the transmission output and 0 degrees at the rear axle pinion, equal but not opposite. What's the best correction? A. Reduce drive shaft length. B. Add shims to rotate the axle to near equal and opposite angle. C. Replace U-joints with high angle type. D. Increase carrier bearing preload. Answer: B. Add shims to rotate the axle to near equal and opposite angle. Explanation: for single cardan joints, operating angles should be small and nearly equal or opposite to cancel velocity fluctuations. 6. Which clutch type typically uses a separate clutch brake? A. Automotive diaphragm spring clutch. B. HD pull type lever clutch. C. Twin disc push type with concentric slave. D. Fluid coupling clutch. Answer: B. HD pull type lever clutch. Explanation: heavy-duty pull type clutches commonly use an external clutch brake to stop the input shaft for low gear engagement. 7. Excessive end play in a transmission countershaft most likely results in A. Poor synchronizer function. B. Gear tooth scuffing and noise. C. Difficult clutch adjustment. D. PTO disengagement. Answer: B. Gear tooth scuffing and noise. Explanation: end play lets gears misalign and move axially, causing noise and abnormal wear patterns. 8. An Eaton-Fuller constant mesh transmission grinds during range shifts. Air pressure is normal. What's the next check? A. Range valve filter contamination. B. Power divider lockout solenoid. C. Interaxial diff bearings. D. Clutch brake thickness. Answer: A. Range valve filter contamination. Explanation: debris or sticky range control valves or solenoids can slow the shift actuator, causing grind during range changes. 9. A driver reports a single clunk when applying power from a stop. Which is most likely? A. Excessive ring gear backlash. B. Loose driveline yoke or strap bolts. C. Worn clutch release bearing. D. Bent main shaft. Answer: B. Loose driveline yoke or strap bolts. Explanation: loose U-joint strap or bolt connections allow sudden lash take-up and a distinct clunk. 10. What is the primary function of a clutch brake? A. Reduce main shaft RPM during upshifts. B. Stop the input shaft at a standstill. C. Increase clamp load of the pressure plate. D. Lubricate the pilot bearing. Answer: B. Stop the input shaft at a standstill. Explanation: the clutch brake contacts the input shaft collar to halt rotation for easy low-gear engagement when stationary. 11. During clutch installation, which step prevents input shaft spline fretting and clutch disc hangup? A. Lubricate disc facings lightly. B. Coat the pilot bearing with anti-seize. C. Lightly lube input splines with approved high-temp spline grease. D. Soak the disc hub in gear oil. Answer: C. Lightly lube input splines with approved high-temp spline grease. Explanation: proper spline lubrication allows smooth disc movement without attracting excess debris. 12. A transmission pops out of gear under load. Which is the most probable cause? A. Worn shift bar housing detents. B. Overfilled oil. C. Excess clutch pedal free play. D. Incorrect tire pressure. Answer: A. Worn shift bar housing detents. Explanation: weak or worn detents or shift forks allow selector rails to back out, causing a jump-out condition. 13. What's the correct method to check clutch brake clearance on a pull-type clutch? A. Measure pedal travel to the floor. B. With engine idling, push pedal fully, attempt to engage first, and adjust until grinding ceases. C. Measure release bearing to cover finger gap. D. Measure flywheel step. Answer: B. With engine idling, push pedal fully, attempt to engage first, and adjust until grinding ceases. Explanation: functional check ensures the brake stops the input shaft. Excessive or insufficient gap shows as grinding or difficult engagement. 14. An interaxle differential (IAD) lock should be used primarily: A. For normal highway cruising to reduce tire slip. B. Only on dry pavement cornering. C. At low traction speeds in a straight line. D. For downhill grades to increase braking. Answer: C. At low traction speeds in a straight line. Explanation: locking the IAD improves traction but should be disengaged for turns or dry high traction conditions to avoid driveline windup. 15. A vehicle exhibits vibration that increases with vehicle speed but is unaffected by engine speed in neutral. Suspect: A. Engine balancer fault. B.
driveline imbalance or angle issue. C. Misfiring cylinder. D. Clutch cover imbalance. Answer B. Driveline imbalance or angle issue. Explanation: speed-related vibration independent of engine RPM points to rotating driveline components.
16. What will excessive pinion bearing preload cause? A. Excessive backlash. B. Overheating and bearing failure. C. Whine only on coast. D. Chatter on turns. Answer B. Overheating and bearing failure. Explanation: too much preload increases friction, leading to heat and early bearing damage. 17. A limited slip differential with clutch packs shows chatter on low-speed turns. First corrective action: A. Replace side gears. B. Add or verify friction modifier and correct oil. C. Increase pinion depth. D. Replace ring and pinion set. Answer B. Add or verify friction modifier and correct oil. Explanation: LSD clutches need proper additive to prevent stick-slip chatter neckall. 18. The best indicator of correct ring gear backlash adjustment is A. Pinion preload torque. B. Tooth contact pattern using marking compound. C. Carrier end play. D. Axle shaft end play. Answer B. Tooth contact pattern using marking compound. Explanation: pattern check confirms pinion depth and backlash settings under load simulation. 19. A PTO fails to engage reliably. Oil level is correct. What is most likely? A. Incorrect PTO ratio. B. Worn clutch brake. C. Low air pressure or defective PTO air solenoid. D. Worn kingpins. Answer C. Low air pressure or defective PTO air solenoid. Explanation: air-shifted PTOs depend on proper supply and solenoid function. 20. Which component keeps the transmission input shaft concentric with the crankshaft? A. Release bearing. B. Pilot bearing or bushing. C. Main shaft rear bearing. D. Countershaft front bearing. Answer B. Pilot bearing or bushing. Explanation: the pilot supports and centers the input shaft in the crankshaft or flywheel housing. 21. After replacing a U-joint, what final step helps ensure longevity? A. Pack with wheel bearing grease. B. Over-torque straps to 2x spec. C. Grease to purge old lubricant and ensure fresh grease at all seals. D. Paint the caps. Answer C. Grease to purge old lubricant and ensure fresh grease at all seals. Explanation: purging drives out contaminants and ensures lubrication at needle bearings. 22. A constant mesh HD transmission uses A. Sliding gears to engage teeth directly. B. Dog clutches or synchronizers to couple already meshed gears to the shaft. C. Idler gears only. D. Friction bands like an automatic. Answer B. Dog clutches and synchronizers to couple already meshed gears to the shaft. Explanation: gears remain in constant mesh, engagement is via sliding collars or dogs, and synchros in some models. 23. Noise occurs only on deceleration, coast, from 45 to 55 miles per hour. Most likely cause: A. Loose clutch cover bolts. B. Pinion depth backlash incorrect causing coast side whine. C. Bad pilot bearing. D. Flat spotted tires. Answer B. Pinion depth backlash incorrect causing coast side whine. Explanation: coast whine often indicates pattern near toe or heel on coast side due to setup errors. 24. A driveline with a center carrier bearing shows premature bearing failure. Likely contributing factor: A. Perfect yoke phasing. B. Incorrect shaft height or angle through the carrier. C. Slightly low tire pressure.
D. Synthetic gear oil. Answer: B. Incorrect shaft height or angle through the carrier. Explanation: excess angles or misalignment at the carrier overload the bearing. 25. What is the purpose of a clutch torque limiter, spring hub? A. Eliminate slip during engagement. B. Dampen torsional vibrations and shock loads. C. Increase clamp force. D. Engage clutch brake sooner. Answer: B. Dampen torsional vibrations and shock loads. Explanation: torsion springs reduce drivetrain shock and gear rattle.
26. A range splitter transmission will not shift into high range. Splitter works. Air supply is good. Next logical check. A. Range shift air lines or actuator for leaks or stuck spool. B. Ring gear thrust washer. C. Axle seal. D. PTO backlash. Answer: A. Range shift air lines or actuator for leaks or stuck spool. Explanation: separate air circuits or actuator control range. Leaks or sticking valves prevent the shift. 27. Which reading indicates proper wheel end bearing adjustment on a heavy truck drive axle with double nuts and lock? A. Zero end play at all times. B. Slight end play within spec measured with dial indicator. C. Heavy preload for stability. D. End play unmeasurable by hand. Answer: B. Slight end play within spec measured with dial indicator. Explanation: manufacturers specify a small end play, such as 0.001 to 0.005 inches, to prevent overheating. 28. A pull-type clutch shows rapid release bearing wear. Which cause is most likely? A. Excess pedal free play. B. Release bearing constantly riding the fingers. C. Too thin clutch brake. D. Worn pilot bushing. Answer: B. Release bearing constantly riding the fingers. Explanation: insufficient free play or misadjustment keeps the bearing engaged, accelerating wear. 29. Which symptom points to a failed pilot bearing? A. Noise when the clutch is released at idle that disappears when the pedal is depressed. B. Whine at cruise only. C. Noise when pedal is depressed that quiets when released. D. Vibration only in fourth gear. Answer: C. Noise when pedal is depressed that quiets when released. Explanation: depressing the pedal loads the pilot bearing as the input shaft rotates independent of the crank. 30. After a differential rebuild, backlash is within spec, but the pattern is centered toe to heel on drive side and close to toe on coast. What adjustment? A. Increase pinion depth, move pinion closer. B. Decrease pinion depth, move pinion out. C. Reduce backlash. D. Increase backlash. Answer: B. Decrease pinion depth, move pinion out. Explanation: too deep pinion puts the pattern toward the toe. Moving it out centers the pattern. 31. A vehicle with a locking differential binds and hops on tight turns on dry pavement. The component is A. Operating normally for that situation. B. Failing and must be replaced. C. Low on oil. D. Set with too little backlash. The answer is A. Operating normally for that situation. Explanation: lockers force both axles to the same speed, causing hop on high traction tight turns, disengage on pavement. 32. What is the effect of overfilling a manual transmission? A. Eliminates foaming. B. can cause aeration overheating and venting. C. Improves synchronizer life. D. Reduces seal leakage. The answer is B. Can cause aeration overheating and venting. Explanation: excess oil churns, aerates, and heats up. It can push out vents and seals. 33. A driveline thump is felt when shifting from drive to coast repeatedly at low speed. First inspection point is A. Transmission oil viscosity, B. Axle ratio, C. Worn slip yoke splines or dry slip joint, D. Steering gear lash. The answer is C. Worn slip yoke splines or dry slip joint. Explanation: stick slip at the slip joint causes a thump as load reverses. 34. The most accurate way to verify pinion bearing preload during setup is A. Hand feel, B. Measuring rotating torque with an inch-pound torque wrench, C. Counting turns on the yoke nut, D. Listening for noise. The answer is B. Measuring rotating torque with an inch-pound torque wrench. Explanation: preload is specified as rotating torque, and tools quantify it precisely. 35. A synchronizer assembly shows bluing and glazing. Likely cause: A. Excessive use of clutch brake, B. Upshifting at very low RPMs, C. Shifting without clutch or with poor timing causing heavy friction, D. Over-greasing the input spline. The answer is C. Shifting without clutch or with poor timing causing heavy friction. Explanation: excess slip heats linings, discoloring, bluing, and glazing the rings. 36. A power divider warning lamp remains lit with the switch off. What's most likely? A. Failed clutch disc, B. Shorted indicator circuit or stuck lockout valve, C. Wrong axle ratio, D. Bad wheel bearings. Answer: B. Shorted indicator circuit or stuck lockout valve. Explanation: the lamp indicates lock engagement or circuit fault. A stuck valve can keep the lock engaged. 37. A double cardan CV joint is used to A. Eliminate the need for lubrication, B. Allow larger total operating angle with smoother velocity, C. Reduce pinion depth, D. Increase axle ratio. Answer: B. Allow larger total operating angle with smoother velocity. Explanation: two U-joints with a centering device equalize angular velocity at higher joint angles. 38. What is the function of a clutch brake when downshifting on the road? A. None, it is not used while moving. B. Synchronizes main shaft speed. C. Increases clamp load. D. Lubricates the pilot. Answer: A. None, it is not used while moving. Explanation: the clutch brake is for stopping the input shaft at a standstill, never for road shifts. 39. A rear axle shows metallic paste on the drain plug magnet at 15,000 miles after rebuild, but no chunks. What's the best action? A. Immediate teardown, B. Replace bearings, C. Drain, inspect pattern, refill with correct lube and recheck at next interval, D. Change ratio. Answer: C. Drain, inspect pattern, refill with correct lube and recheck at next interval. Explanation: fine break-in metal is normal early. Absence of chips and normal operation suggests monitoring. 40. A technician notes excessive backlash, but the carrier bearing adjusters are at their limits. Next step: A. Replace pinion seal, B. Replace worn carrier bearings and races, C. Install thinner ring gear, D. Increase tire size. Answer: B. Replace worn carrier bearings and races. Explanation: worn bearings shift gear position. You can't achieve proper backlash if the bearings or races are damaged. 41. What will a failed axle shaft spline typically cause? A. Wheel hop only. B. No drive to that wheel axle set while the differential spins. C. Increased fuel economy. D. Reduced backlash. Answer B. No drive to that wheel axle set while the differential spins. Explanation. Broken or stripped splines disconnect torque transfer. 42. A vehicle exhibits driveline vibration only during acceleration, not at steady speed. Likely cause: A. Excess pinion angle under load, axle rep. B. Imbalanced tires. C. Bent shifter fork. D. Incorrect gear oil. Answer A. Excess pinion angle under load, axle rep. Explanation. Torque reaction can rotate the axle housing, changing angles and causing acceleration-only vibration. 43. After installing a new clutch, the truck stalls easily on takeoff, and engagement is abrupt. Most likely error: A. Too much pedal free play. B. Greased disc facings. C. Incorrect disc orientation, flywheel side, reversed. D. Thin clutch brake. Answer C. Incorrect disc orientation, flywheel side, reversed. Explanation. Reversed discs change hub offset and engagement behavior, causing grabby engagement. 44. Which lube is typically specified for modern synchronized HD manual transmissions where required by OEM? A. Straight 90W GL5 gear oil. B. Engine oil 20W50. C. Synthetic MT-rated or OEM-specified manual transmission fluid. D. ATF Type F always. Answer C. Synthetic MT-rated or OEM-specified manual transmission fluid. Explanation. Synchronizers require specific friction characteristics. Many OEMs specify dedicated MT fluids. 45. A driver reports that selecting low gear at a stop always grinds unless the engine is shut off. Which pair of issues is most consistent? A. Worn clutch brake and excessive pedal free play. B. Bad tires and bent axle. C. Low gear oil and loose detents. D. Worn wheel bearings and LSD chatter. Answer A. Worn clutch brake and excessive pedal free play. Explanation. Both reduce input shaft stopping ability, causing persistent grind.
46. A differential with excessive carrier bearing preload might show A. Overheating and howling at all speeds. B. Only coast whine. C. Improved fuel economy. D. No change. Answer A. Overheating and howling at all speeds. Explanation. Too tight bearings heat up and produce a general howl, not just coast or drive specific. 47. What does incorrect yoke phasing cause in a two-joint shaft? A. Cancels vibrations at high speed. B. Produces a second-order vibration and surging. C. Improves spline life. D. Eliminates need for carrier bearing. Answer B. Produces a second-order vibration and surging. Explanation. Misphased yokes disrupt velocity cancellation, leading to periodic speed variations and vibration. 48. In a full floating axle, which component carries weight? A. Axle shaft. B. Hub and bearings on the spindle. C. Differential case. D. Pinion bearings. Answer B. Hub and bearings on the spindle. Explanation. Full float designs support weight through hub bearings. Axle shafts transmit torque only. 49. A truck with a two-speed axle will not shift to high range under load. Electrical tests are good. Next check. A. Vacuum/air actuator operation and line integrity. B. Ring-geared tooth count. C. Clutch brake thickness. D. Tire circumference. Answer A. Vacuum/air actuator operation and line integrity. Explanation. Two-speed axles often use vacuum or air actuators. Leaks or weak actuators prevent shifting. 50.
After replacing leaf springs, a new high-frequency vibration appears at highway speeds. Most likely cause: A. Improved driveline balance. B. Changed pinion/driveline angles due to ride height shift. C. Worn clutch disc. D. Low axle oil. Answer: B. Changed pinion/driveline angles due to ride height shift. Explanation: altered ride height changes U-joint angles. Angles must be realigned to previous specs.
Thanks so much for studying with us today. I hope these practice questions helped boost your confidence and sharpen your skills. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell so you won't miss the next study session. You can click the links on screen right now to watch another study video and keep your learning going. I'll see you over there.